Guys, looks like we're going to go and see some cheap toy boxes. There they are down there, and there's some other ones. Also today, some chewy candy, Garbage Pail Kids. Also today, while we're in this box, I'd like to go ahead and just get done with this box. This is just the whole thing. And so there's garbage candy, there's Garbage Pail Kids slime. So let's go ahead. And while we're finishing up our cheap toy collection series, this is going to be the last video because I'm getting down to the boxes and wrappers. So I'm not going to include mannequins in this series. That's going to be in a separate video. They're not cheap toys. Let's be honest. Anyway, yeah, let's get to it. So this is a box I've had. I mean, this is a bin I've had for a long time. It's always housed my favorite candy boxes. But over the years, it's gotten to where it can only hold my garbage candy and my cheap toys. So a lot of the other candy I used to store in here, I had to put that in another box. And we are definitely going to look at that other stuff on another day. Floating on the top here, just while it's in hand and while I'm waiting on people to get in here, remember the Thomas Bunk mutant candy. I'm just floating that here for now. It's a little big to put in a binder. Plus, I don't think I want to mix my candy art with my Garbage Pail Kids art. And this is more candy art. But I showed this on a different day. I'm in a different video. Remember the Heineken Flair art? All right, so let's get through the cheap toys. In fact, while I'm waiting on people, let's go and look at the wrappers and the crummy candy on it. Dump all this shit out. So if you've ever opened a pack of cheap toys or you've seen a pack of cheap toys, it's not just a toy. It comes with candy. It comes with a checklist. These are some of the nicer wrappers I've saved over the years. It's pretty rare to get a wrapper like this because they're heat sealed. Yeah, you can see it here where it was heat sealed. And so to get it open, you had to like literally rip it open. That's the Garbage Gang. Okay. So yeah, I just saved some of my nicer wrappers that aren't torn to fuck, you know. Now, one of these is probably a UK. Let's see here. I do have a UK wrapper somewhere. Anyway, it might not be in here. But anyway, actually this has a note on it I wrote myself. It says, Ivy's first cheap toy opened January 15th, 2009. I had gotten an orange heather, and I had been looking for an orange heather for a long time, and it happened to be in a sealed pack, and so I let my daughter open it. And she did a pretty good job for a second grader, or first grader, I can't remember. Yeah, nice. So here is a Garbage Gang one. Notice it's different than this. This says Garbage Pail Kids. This says Garbage Gang. They look almost identical. But then you look down here. This has ounces. This has grams. And then when you get on the back, it looks totally different. It's been translated in different countries. Another thing special about this one is mine is the one that has the little holes in it. That's because originally this had a wire that was threaded or woven through the top. Now there's other Garbage Gang wrappers out there that does not have that feature. There's actually some that were heat sealed like the regular ones. So this happens to be one of the rare threaded ones, and I don't have the wire. I've never seen the wire. All right, let's see what else is in here. Oh, here's the Novosaurs I was talking about yesterday. This came in a pack. I don't have it out. But anyway, so yeah. Now, I was telling you, yeah, I can grab it. I was telling you yesterday that these, you can't tell these apart from the regular Tops ones. There's no way to tell if this one's the 50-cent one or the $50 one, basically. And so none of them are worth $50. Unless you have this. Unless you have the thing that came inside the wrapper, because that's what says Novo Bonbon on it. On the back is a checklist. We can compare this with the Novo Bonbon checklist for cheap toys. And so hopefully you can start to see why maybe this could be a pretty cool item. And I can find Mr. Stegosaurus. I believe that's a Stegosaurus. There he is. Yeah, Stegosaurus. Also in this bag, I have original Series 2 candy that came with Novo Bonbon. Let's keep that together, and let's put this wrapper, the Novo Bonbon Series 2 wrapper, let's put this all together. You know what, let's just throw the Novosaur in there as well. All right, let's make that pile. Let's see what's going on over here. Here it looks like it got a ton of checklists. Yeah, there's probably 50 right here. They're always floating around my house, random places. And I've saved some of the packets of crummy candy. And oh, look at this. This is one of the Tops dinosaurs I was talking about that are worth almost nothing. So the only way to tell the toys is to either have it in a sealed pack or really that's the only way. Unless, of course, you have one of the original stickers. There's not many of those around. I believe there's 3 of those known. These are customs by Uraeus. I have a whole set of them that's in a binder. I've already shown that binder. These are just extras. And Uraeus made his own wrapper back in the day. These are just floating on top. They're stickers. Not the greatest quality. These are the twist ties. Notice they come in different colors, 2 different colors. The light yellow one is extremely rare. That's because that's a Novo Bonbon one. The US have the darker sunshine yellow, ironically. The Novos are the lightest ones, or the Canadian ones are the lightest ones. So let's see what you learned. So what would you say this loose one belongs with? Is it a Novo or a US? Let's put it down here. It's a Novo, and the reason it's out of the bag is I did a fantasy thing where I put an atom bomb in this pack. This was about a year ago, and I sealed it with an authentic Novo Bonbon twist tie and just did like a fantasy photograph what it would be like to find Sunshine Bommy in a wrapper. Those are the kinds of things I fantasize about. All right, that brings us to this box. This is actually one of my favorite boxes in my archive. Like I said earlier, it used to be just my favorite boxes, but it's gotten to the point where I can only put garbage candy, and I can't even get all my garbage candy in there. I've got more garbage candy boxes. And it has my cheap toys, and let's get to it. Wow, look at that. Let's see what the first one is. Wow, great place to start. This looks like a regular cheap toy box that's worth 50 bucks. No, this one's worth $1,000 or more. This is, holy fuck, this is the Canadian, not the Series 2 Canadian, the Canadian Aqua box. This was the first one ever discovered. Since then, there's been one more discovered. So it's a one of 2. Doesn't really matter. It's fucking incredible. Look at that. All right, let's see what the next one is. I have no idea. Oh, okay, this is my mint. Look at this, guys. Here's a proper cheap toy box. This is what Russ Van should have in his collection. Now it's empty. Look how mint that box is. Carefully open this. There's something in there is why. I mean, let's check the first one though. Okay, nothing in there. Let's see what this shit is. Okay, this looks like more Uraeus custom stuff. You know what? I might just put those right back. And I might just add these to them as well. That was loose in this bin. And that clears that out. Very good. All right, next box. Oh, okay. A little beat up. But this is the UK box. Not the Garbage Gang. The UK box. They also made just a regular one in the UK. Okay, so on the bottom, yeah, the top's Ireland cork one. We also noticed it because of this. Now this is printed on the box. That's not a sticker. All right. Oh, look at her. Yeah, very rare box. When I got it, it was a 1 of 2. Now there's 5 of these known. This is a Garbage Gang display box. This is a really good one that came with these. This is the only box you can find cinnamon and UK aqua and the UK peach and blue. Mine's not in the greatest shape, but at the time when I bought it, it did not matter at all. Let's see how different it is from the UK box. On the bottom, at least. Let's see if we see any differences. I don't see much, if anything. All right. Now, most of you know there's 5 cheap toy boxes that you can have. Holy fucking shit. Am I dreaming? Is this some sort of repro? No, this is the real deal. A Series 2 Novo Bonbons cheap toy box. Missing the goddamn lid. This is the one that would hold this. Yeah, I remember the little set I was making us down here on the carpet. Let's go ahead and... Actually, this is out of place slightly. All right, so here's the whole shit and shebang, as we say. You have the wrapper. You have the light yellow twist tie. Make sure it's got to be light yellow. You have the Novo Bonbon checklist with the different characters on it. And now there's not crummy candy in this box. Remember, they switched from crummy candy to garbage candy. Ah. Garbage candy. Garbage candy. All right, we're going to look at all the garbage candy next. But this completes part 7 of our cheap toy collection. I've already shown you the box art and the Thomas Bunk first sketch and all that other stuff in another video. We don't have to look at that again. But there's all 5 boxes of cheap toys. 5 of 5. All right, so like I said, I want to get through this bin while I have you, and then we're still in this box. That way I don't have to reopen it. There's some more Garbage Pail Kids. Let's see what this is. This is the Garbage Gang Bubblegum box. Very nice. See AB there. Look at Mona Lisa getting some love. All right. Very nice. Have to have that, right? That's something you have to have if you're supposedly the god of novelty candy. And you also have to have holy shit. Do you know 6 months ago I had 2 of these? I used to have 2. I sold one. I sold the bad one. I had one where the candy had melted out and all the candy pieces started to become one big blob of caramel. But this bag, absolutely no damage. Now I do have to rotate it because I live in Georgia. You know, that's one thing that I have to do. That's a part of my life, is I'm always having to rotate my candy collection. You can't leave it sitting, even in air conditioning. You can't leave your candy items. And you know, I have thousands and thousands and thousands, thousands and thousands of candy items. Part of my daily routine is I'll have to pull a bin out and sort of work down almost like a librarian, and I have to rotate my items. Being that I'm a seller, kind of added to that process. It actually helps because I have to inventory my stuff because I'm a seller, and so I can sort of like kill 2 birds with 1 stone since I'm a dealer. But still, that's a part of my life. I have to rotate, and you saw me kind of doing this. I have to make sure they're separated. I have 2 pieces here that are starting to stick, so I have to pinch them out like that. See that? I popped it. Now that wasn't melted. It was just, I don't know what it was doing. But this is just my life. I mean, it's just the life of a candy collector. But yeah, this is an absolute mint bag of Garbage Pail Kids Chewy candy. There's 240 sealed pieces in here. Lots of atom bombs, by the way. Beautiful. Over here in this bag, these are the ones I'm selling, so I'll show you those. Now these are not all my Chewy candy wrappers. I have my own set. I have a binder full of these. These are my extras. There's around 150 in this bag. There's entire sets of characters, random loose ones. They're packaged like this, so when I sell them on eBay, I can just throw this shit in a bag. Here's another huge stack of them, different flavors. Also mixed in here are Monster Chews, because these were also made by Stanny and Convex, which took over the Monster Chews line. And so I just put all my my 80s chews wrappers in the same bin. So these are just more Monster Chews. So yeah. So, you know, since I'm a candy collector and a kind of a toy guy, my Garbage Pail Kids collection is more geared towards the candy side and the toy side. Now, like I said in many videos, we all have cards. You know, we're Garbage Pail Kid collectors. Of course we have cards. I got thousands of cards. I got boxes and boxes and boxes. You saw them in other videos I did already. I got bins of fucking cards. I got sealed packs. Got fucking display boxes. Got miscellaneous. We all have that shit. But my niche in the hobby, is, you know, all the candy and toys and shit. Let's finish up this box. Yeah, let's get this out of the way. This is a really cool release. This is the Italian slime box. They repackaged mannequins. Guys, they made so many Series 1 mannequins, you have no idea. Like, there's still places that have boxes and boxes of Series 1s. They overproduced it, so grossly overproduced it, that they had to come back years later and make very liquidy slime. Look at that. Here we see a floating Spacey Stacy, my favorite figure. Huh. It looks really fucking gross. But yeah, that was a cool release. They're like in little toxic waste drums. They also made a Garbage Gang one, or a UK one. I don't have the box for that. I do have some of the barrels somewhere. I just don't have room for all, like, every little random thing. The rest of this is garbage candy. Now, this is nowhere near all the boxes of garbage candy I have. This is just, I would say, my favorite ones. Most of my favorite ones are in here. All right, this is something that's super associated with Garbage Pail Kids. This is the Garbage Gang one that was released the same year as this. So this one is pretty damn well tied to Garbage Pail Kids. Notice the font is Garbage Pail Kids font as well. Because if you look at this, this is a cartoon font. These were designed by underground cartoonists. But when they got to the UK one, when they rebooted Garbage Candy in the UK for Garbage Gang, they upgraded it in a Garbage Pail Kid style because this came out when this came out. It was part of the same product push. Another thing that only like 5 people know about. These are Garbage Gang only colors. Taupe. This is the only known Garbage Gang taupe can in existence. There's only 2 known powder blue garbage candy cans. You're looking at both of them. I have them all. There's very few of the light red Garbage Gang cans. You're looking at 2 of maybe... Well, I've never personally seen any 2, so these might be the only 2. These are Garbage Gang Yellow and Garbage Gang Green. These came in this box. And plus, I just know they're Garbage Gang because of the there's a pebbly texture on them that I'm looking through the camera with you. I mean, my phone, and I can't tell the difference. But I don't know if you can see how they're the same texture. It's the Garbage Gang can texture. Anyway, just have to trust me. These are all Garbage Gang variants, including 3 exclusive colors: taupe, powder blue, and light red. Extremely fucking rare. Unfortunately, no one gives a fuck. No one collects this but like me and like maybe 4 or 5 other people. And they're not getting this from me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's no market for it because no one's willing to sell anything. This is the only known garbage bin candy box in existence. There's no one else has this. This came from the UK. It's fucking purple. It's got new graphics done maybe on a computer, which is a little weird. Beautiful design. There you go. The money shot. Now, I don't know, honestly, what cans came in this originally. When I got it from UK Rob, it was empty. But you are looking at extremely rare cans. These are Series 2 US. You got 8 oranges, which is no one else has, by the way. Which I have way more than this, of course. I'm just saying, like, no one has this much. Yeah, on the History Channel, they at least the plan was for me to come out as the garbage candy king. It was changed because Topps did not want garbage candy said on national television. But I was really discovered because of my garbage candy stuff. Because Adam Richman wanted to talk about garbage candy and a few other ones, but this was one of the main ones, and that's why they picked me. This is a extremely rare box. There's maybe 2 or 3 of these out there. 70s. I always thought that Jay Lynch drew this, but Jay actually told me it wasn't him, and I forget who he told me did that. Let's see what this is here. A lot of these are dated on the bottom, or on the, or somewhere you can find a date typically. Oh, this one has the insert. Missing one. I probably pulled it for the show. I have to go out and find it. Not dated. Let's check the bottom. Series 4. This is probably like late 80s. Yep, Series 4. Yeah, I'm noticing it's got that rare pumpkin. That's why I pulled it out. Because this is the only time you could get the pumpkin. This is pumpkin orange. It's the only time they release pumpkin. So I gotta go find where my fucking pumpkin can is missing. The missing pumpkin. I don't think that's gonna support that weight. Let's see here. Yeah, like I said earlier, this is not all my garbage candy boxes. Oh, this one's factory sealed. Let's see if we can at least get a date. There you go, 88. Here's a Series 4 88. Now, Series 4 went into 1990. From 88 to 90 are the Series 4s. I've never been in this box. I don't even know what's in there. It might have more pumpkin oranges. That'd be nice. Let's see what this is. Oh, a 90. So 90 is Series 4. Now, I don't have Series 4s in there. I have Series 1 reds. These are all 1978s. Nipple bottoms is what I call them. Some people call them convex. This is the first runs. So I just filled it with all first runs. So here's an entire box of first run reds. I just thought it'd be cool. Here's another one. Oh, this box actually fell apart. So I'm going to leave it sitting right there. It's another 88. There you go. Oh, there is some rare ones in there. I can grab them though. Hey, that might be my pumpkin. Nope. That's Canadian. Yeah, y'all wouldn't believe my garbage candy collection. You're just seeing the random ones I keep hidden in boxes. You should see my loose ones. In fact, I see a rare one right here. This is the only known black garbage candy can. Holy fuck. Fixing to come, dude. It's Canadian. Holy fuck. What's that worth? On eBay, $5. Getting it out of my hands, you're not going to get it. Black. The only known Darth Vader garbage candy. Also rare, silver. These came out in 1994. They ran until 1997, but they ended up in Canada. But there is a US 94, which is Series 5, by the way. See how they added a dimple? Yeah, if you ever have garbage candy and you just need to know what they are, I can date them immediately just by looking at the can. It doesn't have to have any paper on it, no candy inside. I even know all the copyrights and the I can even pick out different molds just by visual. Okay, these are the Canadian ones. It feels like this box is falling apart as well. See how it says Bon Bon here? They started making the Canadian yellow boxes in 2006. That was first edition Canadian. Now there's a company called Topps Canada. That's the branded name. It's a division of Topps that's just Canadian, and they only distribute to Canada. And so these are the Topps Canada. A lot of people don't know there's actually a different company called Topps Canada. This box is fucked up. I'm trying not to spill everything out. Let's see. I'm trying to get a date off of it. First thing that pops out is that bazooka. This is something kind of newish. I don't see a date. Let's get inside. Oh, okay. These are when they switch from paper to cello wraps. Fucking hate that. Fucking cheap ass bastards. Look at that. Nobody wants to see it wrapped like that. And the logo gets all distorted. Fucking cheap bastards. Sorry, just trying to pull a date. Anyway, they're pretty colors. They make the real pretty colors in Canada. They're bright, semi-trans. Let me put them back. So yeah, you can pick these up now. They still make them in 2022. Go on eBay and look. Just hunt garbage candy, and you'll know them because it's the yellow box. They're the only place that makes yellow box. And in fact, they're the only place that makes garbage candy. So you can only buy these in Canada now. And it's been that way since 2006. Actually, it's been that way since 1997. The final garbage candy release in the U.S. was 1997. Oh, here's the first one. Yeah, I have a first edition Topps Canada 2006 box. And I bought this in about 2 years after its factory sealed. And this is extremely rare box. This is the double size ones. These are the giant ones. Should be 2010. No, 2012. Okay. Very good. All right, cool. We got through that box. So I'll put all this shit back. I'm not seeing any questions. I can't see anything today. I don't know why that is. Sometimes I can see comments, but I cannot see anything. I'm sorry if anyone's asking questions. I cannot see a damn thing. I did have some things come in the mail. I can just open that real quick. It's just sports cards, but that was cool. They put an R on there for me. I wish it was a V though. Yeah, this guy I get a lot of cards from. He's super OCD like me, so I just like his stuff. Yeah, cool, man. Just investing, you know. It's a cool card. You got Yogi Bear's autograph. I don't have Bear's autograph, so I just wanted to have, you know, it's not the greatest card of, you know, obviously of Yogi Bear, but I just had to have an auto by him. Yeah, cool. Here's another one. Yeah, it's been slow, man. I have a candy collection coming in. Actually, I got 2 coming in. Oh, here's the trout I ordered. But, I mean, other than that, it's just been it's been slow lately. Yeah, you know, trout's sort of like the Mickey Mantle right now. So, I mean, you're not going to go wrong getting any sort of cards from him. So, I picked this one up. What else did I get? Oh, yeah, Ramirez, rookie. And, you know, he might not turn out to be much, but he's looking promising this year. Cool, man. That's definitely all I got. I got through that box, got through the cheap toys, and looked at some chewy candy today. Went through most of my really good garbage candy boxes. I might could grab my loose cans, but I don't know. That might get crazy because, you know, when I was showing you those, I can go on for an hour talking about individual cans. Let's just wait on that. Yeah, y'all have a good rest of your day. Definitely still quitting. I mean, they don't make garbage candy anymore. To find garbage candy, I have to look to fucking Canada. And quite honestly, they haven't changed this fucking box since 2006. They're still making yellow box, same fucking graphics, very little changes. They definitely don't make cheap toys anymore, right? They don't make anything cool like this anymore. They'll make a million cards and put them online. Fucking dumbass Valentine's cards, like we want that. You know, I'm not a girl. I'm not a girl. I don't want fucking Valentine's Day. I don't want to see Atom Bomb with a heart on it. I don't want that shit. I'm fucking into garbage. I thought we're into nuclear explosions and fucking gangsters with knives. You know, I don't know, man. I'm quitting because it's getting even lamer. The artists, they can't even show fucking shit or pee in their art anymore. Like, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, it feels like the hobby's becoming Cabbage Patch Kids, honestly. We've lost the garbage. It's supposed to be a garbage aesthetic, crummy, cheap garbage, mutants, fucking freaks. This has somewhat of a Garbage Pail Kids theme, but even this looks kind of weak because it's new, right? So yeah, I'm getting out. I don't want to be part of something that's fucking homosexual and just cancel me. Just cancel me, man. I'm not. I don't belong to this world. I'm just an 80s kid who's into the cool shit. You know, I'm into the cool shit, man. And they just don't make cool shit. It's hard to find anything cool. You have to go to some other fucking country to find anything cool. Like, literally, the best candy in the world is being made in Japan at the moment. Japan. This shit should be in stores in America. Why is it? Because we live in this woke fucking society. It's just ridiculous, man. I got better shit to do. And you do too. You do too. You don't need to buy Sapphire and all this rehash. These people, they're just making money off of you, dude. Just go and get the old shit. Build you up a nice little collection of art. Cool vintage items. Maybe do some investing as a side hustle. And just fucking go about your way, man. You know. The good shit was in the past. Because back then they didn't care as much. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Melon, they wouldn't make that today. Alexander the Grape, dude. They wouldn't make this today. They canceled this shit. They're canceling everything we love. And replacing it with a dumber, weaker version of it. And kids aren't even kids. Kids can't even go to the store by themselves. There's no like kid culture where they're producing interesting things. Here's a saloon candy, a bar candy. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all just gay ass shit they make around these days. You'll never see snot shots again. You'll never see gunpowder. This is like gunpowder, but it's gum powder. Ain't that cool? You won't see things with monkeys on it because they think it's racist. But back in the day, they didn't give a fuck. It was cool. women's mouths with tongues coming out of it. You would never see this monkey stuff. But back in the day they did, and that's why I have it. Actually, I need to add something to this. I just remembered. Yeah, I'll add this in a little while. Go out there to the store and find something this visual, something this interesting, this compact as a design. Go find it and bring it back and show me. That's because artists today, they're just using computers constantly. No one's doing shit by hand and taking it from the hand to the actual hand-colored concepts to the product. It's all being run by fucking computers. Sort of like these, honestly. See how crappy this is? Because it's kind of newer. To me, I don't know why anyone collects anything new. Go back and you know where the cool shit is. Because you remember it when you were kids. Just like me. Damn, there's some rare shit in here, guys. Remember that from high school? That's the 1990. I was in 9th grade, man. That shit came out. Here's the 82. Yeah, I was 7 years old when this came out. I remember it was down at Eckerd's. My mom... Now, this isn't the one I bought. I probably ripped mine to fuck, as a kid. But this one... yeah, she would take me down to Eckerd's and I'd buy so much nerd candy. This is the holographic nerds. Has an Eckerd sticker. Look, it's all fucked up. Extremely rare. These go for around $200 a piece. Here's the 95s neons. Look how gross that is. I used to have candy. I had to get it out of there, so letting her in it. Knight Rider. Yeah, dude, so I'm about out of garbage pail kid shit to show you. We went through my collection, so I guess the rest of my time before I quit is going to be just me going through fucking bins and bins and bins and binders and binders and binders and pages of candy. So if you're hung up on Garbage Pail Kids, don't watch any more of my videos unless you just want me to rehash and show you stuff twice. But like I said, I never have to show you anything twice. I could keep this series going for 2 more years and you'll never see the same thing twice. You have no idea what kind of a hoarder I am. I'm the hoarding type of collector. Archive is just a nice way of putting it. Yeah, you have no idea. These are cool. These were made by, speaking of gay, but this is Blue Q. They're actually, LTGQ company. I actually support them because they're artists. It's not like they're just a bunch of haters. But they make these funny novelty bubblegum boxes. You've probably seen them. They started in 2002 and they're still making them today. Yeah, here's one of the first ones, Emily the Strange. Dirty Girl gown. These are very Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah, these sell anywhere from $5 to $25 a piece, depending on the year. And some of them are rarer than others. And I got a bunch in this box that I'm having to fucking go through. I just don't have time to do all this stuff. But these, what I'll do is I'll take the candy out. I have to... They're Blue Q boxes are actually hard to get open. You have to use a knife and it takes time. Here's some that I've got to put in that binder I just showed you. It's just full of fucking boxes. These are old Glee gums. Started in 2011. These are some first edition ones. Not something I like, but something I'll sometimes get in collections. Now, these are early 90s skateboard wrestlers. Just fucking random candy you have to go through and process, you know. Yeah, that's my life. I'll show you this because it's within reach, you know. What is this shit? Oh, mannequin sets. Yeah, I have like, I don't know how many sets of mannequins I have. Yeah, I can show you my mannequins though. I got some good ones. Yeah, these are Laffy Taffies I processed. Now this is not my collection. This is what I'm selling. Just 90s Laffy Taffies, just hundreds. These are sealed ones. It's just fucking insane. Life of a hoarder, man. Here's special edition chocolate Laffy Taffy special edition. Old logo, caramel apple. Yeah, dude, it's just one big distraction. You know, I think as collectors, that's kind of what we're buying into. A lot of us, you know, we have stressful lives. We work. I don't work anymore, but I used to work, so I know how it feels. A lot of us are married and we have kids, and you know that's stressful. And so, Garbage Pail Kids becomes just one big distraction. But then for some of us, it becomes something much bigger and uglier and more complicated. And you know, it can really get out of hand, as you can see, as you will see as we go through this archive. Every nook and cranny in my house is filled with collectibles. Under my bed, just things that are supposed to be used for everyday items are filled with fucking candy and bins. And yeah, this used to be a studio space for me. Now it's just a big hoard. So we'll be going through it. Okay, we'll be going through it. But I hope you enjoyed the cheap toy part of it, at least, because I know most of you are Garbage Pail Kids collectors. So yeah, I mean, unless I get some art in, which I do have some deals going on with some artists, this is going to be it for Garbage Pail Kids for this series, the entire series, because I'm out. Unless you want to show you like individual cards, and to me that's a big waste of time. I'd rather just show some cool stuff, constantly just showing cool stuff, you know. So yeah, so today we got through this box. Sorry, I can't see any comments like I used to. I can't even see who's in here. Guys, any interest in collecting this stuff? Like, I'm not trying to sell anything to you. And guys, you know I hate to sell, right? Just because I have a big store, you know I hate to sell this stuff. I really wish I didn't have to sell anything. Yeah, I hate getting rid of anything, obviously. I know a lot of you don't sell because it doesn't feel good. I just became a dealer really early on to help feed my addiction of collecting. But yeah, anyone have any interest in collecting cans, for example? I would suggest everyone listening or watching this to at least get some garbage candy cans. I think they're great tie-ins to what most of us collect, you know. I mean, and remember that cheap toys came with garbage candy. See that? I just feel like people ignore it. Like, they just... Like, there is some collectibles I ignore. Like, I ignore Pez. I actually refuse to buy any Pez. I think if I collected Pez, I'd have to get a divorce because I know how I am. Pez goes back to the 50s or whenever it was. And can you imagine if I went full Russ Van mode on the Pez world? I'd lose my wife, man. It's really good that I am quitting. And like I've been telling you, there's a lot of different reasons I'm quitting. And it's not just because they don't make anything cool. Because I am out there buying stuff. I was in Target today looking for stuff. I didn't find anything on retail. But really, there comes a point where, I mean, I just have a house full, man. I just have storage spaces full. And everything has a beginning, middle, and end. I just feel like I've had my beginning. Maybe 2 or 3 beginnings. It feels like I've kind of quit before. I've kind of went over some of those stories. Still got some more of those stories to come. And I've had middles. And so, yeah. So I think the end is near for sure. Unless they're going to bring back chewy candy. I would stick around. I wouldn't quit GPK if I learned that they were going to bring back Garbage Pail chewy candies. Yeah, how could I quit? All right, guys, y'all have a good rest of your day. I've got to put all this bullshit back. Yeah, so we'll look at some mannequins maybe tomorrow. Or maybe Monday. I've got some gold ones, black ones, got all of them really. So yeah, we'll take a look at those. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Russ Van out.